Hi everyone, welcome to the Piano Keys. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Marina. I'm a professional pianist and I make courses and tutorials to help you reach your piano goals. This is a very special tutorial because it's for a piece that has been requested on my channel for years. This is the tutorial for Yiruma's, still don't know how to say his name, piece called Kiss the Rain. Yay! Finally, at long last. One of my viewers asked me if I would make this tutorial if he would sponsor it, and I said absolutely. He wants to remain anonymous, but you can all comment below and give him a huge thank you for putting up the money for my time to make this video. So thank him below. I know you want to get started right away, so I won't waste a whole lot of time with talking, but there are a couple of things I want to clear up before we start, because I know people are going to ask me and I'd rather just answer it now and save myself some time. Number one, Yiruma, when he performs his own pieces, he tends to play differently pretty much every time that he plays. I've found so many different versions of this piece. So if my performance and tutorial does not match what you recognize, it's not because either one of us is wrong. We're just looking at different performances. So this is the one I'm teaching. I'm not going to add to it. I'm not going to change it. It's going to be this one. And the second thing is, no, I cannot send you the sheet music. I bought the sheet music from musicnotes.com. It's not my arrangement. I'll link to it below. I hope that you will get it. I don't make any money off of that, but it's a lot easier to play along with the tutorial if you've got a map to follow. And the sheet music is basically a musical map. And that's it. So if you're ready to start learning to play Kiss the Rain, then keep watching. All right, before we start, just want to remind you that fingering is not a right or wrong issue. Whatever fingering works for you to play the way that you want to is the right fingering. In fact, when I was preparing this tutorial, before I made the performance video, I went in and wrote in fingerings and I changed them so many times as I kept playing through the piece. So there's lots of fingerings that can work here, and I just want to make sure that you know that. Any fingering that I show you here, if it doesn't work for you, experiment and try other fingerings, okay? None of what I'm about to show you is written in stone. So with that being said, let's start with the left hand. Fifth finger goes on A flat, and this is the A flat that's right underneath middle C. So Yiruma likes, or sorry if I mispronounce his name, but Yiruma likes to use the upper part of the keyboard a lot. It's very tinkly, and then he spreads it out, but he starts kind of in the upper register of the piano. You want to, when you play the left hand up higher than, in its normal position, you want to avoid the crossing over that torques your wrist like that. So you might want to lean on your right cheek, not the cheek on your face, the other one, so that you're shifting your weight to the right, okay? That's what I'm going to do right now. So fifth finger on A flat, third finger on E flat, first on B flat, back to your E flat, and then first finger on A flat. Okay, again, these fingerings are just good ones. They're not the fingerings, okay? Now, fifth finger goes to middle C, third on G. Now, I'm going to lean even more over because look at where the left hand's playing, all the way up here on the E flat, first finger, back to your G, third finger, C, first finger. Okay, we're going to go even higher now. So lean away, lean to the right. Fifth finger on F, third on C, first on G, third on C. Now first finger on A flat, and then second finger on high C. Come all the way down to the E flat above middle C. Second on C. First on E flat, second on C, and then back to your E flat. Okay? So that's going to be this section. I'll play it again without talking so you can see it. And for right now, I'm just keeping a nice steady-ish beat. You know that when you play music, unless you have a drum beat to go by or you need to keep a steady beat for some reason, especially in pieces like this that are very expressive, you should not be playing like there's a metronome going. It's okay to practice like that, you know, to learn the notes, but once you start performing the piece, you want to let the piece have life. And the way I say it is like you want to let it breathe in places, like take some time. You can push it forward in other places. This is called rubato. Okay, so let's go from the beginning. We start on A flat, and I'm just going to play it without talking with a moderately steady beat. Here we go. Lifting from the wrist. Lean. Lift from the wrist. Okay, if you don't have the sheet music, you can write out the note names, but sheet music's like $6 on Music Notes. That's where I got mine, so the link is in the description box. Even if you just get the sheet music and you don't read sheet music, you can write in the note names, and that will help you a lot. This is not a long piece, but there's a lot that happens, okay? So right hand has the melody. We're going to start on E flat, first finger, second finger on A flat, third on B flat, play that B flat again. Now C, you can play it with fourth finger or fifth finger. I'm just going to show you one option, okay? So C with fifth finger, and then I play that C again with fourth finger. Moving on, second finger on A flat, third on B flat, fourth on C. Now pick up from your wrist. You really want to use the wrist, especially in this piece, but always. Now first finger on E flat, third on B flat, and then fifth finger on E flat. Play that E flat again and add a G underneath it with your thumb. Okay? If you want to pause here and practice that much before moving on, that's a great idea. We're going to move on. Then second finger on E flat, third on F, and fourth on G. You can see here, Yiruma does a lot of the going up 3 notes at a time thing. All right, first finger on G, second on E flat, fifth finger on G, and then fourth finger on A flat. You play that A flat again. Underneath it, you add F and C, fingers 2 and 1. We're almost at the end of this section. Pick up, take that fourth finger to B flat, play it. Now you're going to play it again, but you're going to play it as a grace note. And if you're looking at the music, the grace note is that little tiny note with the line through it. So you play that note and you go right up to the C with fifth finger. So like that. Okay? Then step down, fourth finger on A flat, then step down, fourth finger on B flat, third on A flat, pick up, put your fifth finger on G, hold that while you play the G underneath it with your thumb. Okay? Then second finger on C. All right, so I'm going to play the whole thing. If you need to stop at certain places and, you know, practice those places, that's fine. You are all going to be needing to work on different sections, so there's no way for me to anticipate that. And not only that, if I were to repeat every section lots and lots of times, this tutorial would be like 8 hours long. Okay, so I'm going to play it from the beginning of this section without talking at a moderately steady tempo. Here we go, nice and slow. Long note. Okay, so that was kind of a steady tempo. If you're wondering, if you're looking at the music and you're on the third full measure, you see that the grace note goes into 3 eighth notes with a 3 underneath them. Those are triplets. I have a tutorial for triplets on my channel. I'll link it here so you can go learn about triplets. All right, so practice that, and then when you're ready, we're gonna put the hands together. And I really recommend not putting the hands together before each hand knows really well what it's doing, because when you overload before you're ready, that's when things start to seem more challenging than they are, and that's usually when people tend to quit, okay? So hands together is after you know each hand by itself. Right hand goes first. Now, it's gonna be hands together. Right hand holds. Now left hand holds, right hand pick up and play those 3 notes. Left hand picks up and prepares. Now together. Right hand holds, left hand plays. Now left hand holds, right hand does those 3 notes. Left hand prepare. Together. Together. Right hand hold, left hand play. Right. Now, the grace note comes before the left hand. So the 2 C's land together, like that. So the grace note gets very little weight of the arm. The weight goes into the big note, the first note of the triplet, like that, okay? Then the right hand finishes the triplet while the left hand moves to prepare. Together, left. Together, left. Together, okay? So you might have to put this video on 0.75 speed to make sure you catch all the details, and that's fine. I do it all the time when I'm making an arrangement of a song or something like that, or just trying to learn it. So pedaling is also an art. There's no right and wrong way to pedal. Depends a lot on the effect that you're trying to achieve, the keyboard or the piano that you're playing, the room that you're in, all kinds of stuff. So I'm just going to give you suggestions here, with keeping in mind that this is a piece that can take a lot of pedal. Especially when you're up here in this part of the keyboard, it doesn't sound as muddy if you hold the pedal than it does on this part, okay? And if you want to have a good idea about how to start using the pedal, I have a tutorial. I'll link to it here. And I also have an entire course to not only teach you like intellectually how to use a pedal, but to give you real world exercises so that you can coordinate everything, okay? That is on my website, thepianokeys.com. It's called Piano Pedaling Like a Pro. The reason I'm saying all this because trying to anticipate all the questions that I get in the comments and in my emails and to answer them in this video so I don't have to do them one by one. It's very time consuming. So here we go. Right hand starts, but I'm gonna put the pedal down before I get going. And then I change here. If you hear my pedal creaking, sorry. Hopefully you don't hear it. I'm holding the pedal this whole time. I change it here. Sometimes my pedal just creaks, I don't know why. Still holding the pedal. Now I'm gonna play and change here. I'm holding the pedal through all these notes, again, because I'm high up on the keyboard. Oops, it can withstand that kind of pedaling here. Okay, play, change. Okay, that's it. All right, so basically I changed on beat 1 of every measure here. That's not gonna be what I do for the entire piece, but there you go. By the way, some people are a little bit rude and they just tell me to be quiet and teach the song. That's kind of what I'm doing. So again, just trying to anticipate stuff. The way that I teach is by explaining. So if you don't like it, you can click away, it's fine. All right, but I'm sure most of you like it. Okay, Practice that, and when you're ready, move on. All right, so the left hand was on E flat up here. You're going to pick up and take the fifth finger to D flat, third on A flat, first on E flat, back to your A flat, first down to D flat. Pick up, fifth finger on C, second on A flat, first on C, back to your A flat, back to C. Pick up, fifth finger on B flat, third on F, first on D flat, third on F, and then first finger on A flat. Stay relaxed in your wrist. Pick up. Now we're going to go down below middle C to E flat with your fifth finger, third on B flat, first on A flat, back to your B flat, and then first on G. Just want to say something about relaxing your wrist. So wrist can go up and down. Well, I mean, technically the wrist itself can't move. It's a joint, so it's the parts on either side that are moving, but just as a shortcut, I say wrist. So the wrist can go up and down. It can go laterally too. It can go around and around, right? So we can do all that. So as you're moving, make sure that your wrist is mobile. You don't want to move like this. Do you see the difference? I'm going to play that last measure without moving my wrist. I don't know if I can. I'll have to pick up. If this looks familiar to you, I suggest that you start working on your technique because you want to have freedom to move. Okay, so not using the wrist is like not using your knees when you walk. If you just lock your knees and try to walk, yeah, you can do it. Not a good idea. All right, check out my Become a Piano Superhero courses to help you get good technique. All right, so I'm going to play that without talking. Here we go. D flat. Down to C. Down to B flat. Using your wrist to move. And down to E flat. Okay, and that's the left hand. When you're ready, move on. Right hand, fifth finger was holding G and C. Okay, so you're going to pick up and put that fifth finger on A flat, fourth on G, second on E flat. Pick up, you play that E flat again. Underneath it, you add a G and an E flat. 2 and 1. Now, again, this is just a recommended fingering coming up. It doesn't have to be the one that you use. Fourth finger on F. Pick up, you're going to play that F again with the fifth finger and add an A flat underneath it. Then step down, fourth finger on E flat, third on D flat. Play that D flat again, back to your E flat. Play that E flat with your fifth finger and add a B flat underneath it with your second. Now, as you hold the fifth finger, you move the lower note down to A flat first finger. If that's really hard for you, you just let it go, it's fine, okay? And now, play that A flat with your second finger, step up B flat, third finger, 1, 2, 4, F, A flat, C. Fifth finger on D flat, play that D flat again with your fourth finger, and play that A flat and F underneath it that you just played. Okay, we're almost at the end here. Fifth finger on E flat, step down D flat with fourth finger, pick up that fourth finger and move it down to C. Underneath it, add that A flat and F again that you've already played twice, and then second finger on B flat. Remember to stop at any point and work on whatever you need to work on, okay? So I'm going to play that with more or less steady beat, nice and slow, starting on A flat way up here. It's almost the last A flat on a full keyboard. It's the next to the last. If you have a shorter keyboard, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to play the piece the way it's written. You might have to make the notes closer together. Here we go, A flat. right, hands together. Left hand was holding that A flat, and I mean the E flat, sorry. And then you're gonna pick it up anyway because you need to move down. So right hand plays as the left hand moves. Now together. If you can't connect, it's okay. The pedal will help you here. Now just the right hand while the left hand moves. Oops, there we go. Just the left here and together. Okay, now everybody picks up, right hand plays, left hand gets in position, together. You can do third finger here, you can do second, whatever works for you, okay? Together. Just the left here. Right hand plays while the left hand moves ahead so that it will be ready to play. Okay, do that without talking. Here we go. Left hand is finally down where the left hand normally plays. So this is a ninth. This is the top of my reach range, and you can see I'm really spread out, but I'm not making a claw. I'm just letting my hand like stretch out, okay? If you can't reach it, just play the bottom note, it's fine. You can just do that, okay? I can reach it, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it. So it's A flat and B flat. Obviously, fingers 5 and 1. If you can reach this with other fingers, lucky you, go for it. All right, second finger on E flat, first on middle C, back to your E flat, fourth finger, B flat, first finger, back to your E flat, A flat, first finger, back to your E flat. Now, pick up and you're gonna play an octave C, second finger on G, move to E flat, first finger, back to your G with your fourth. Again, this is just a recommended fingering, it's not the right one. First on C, back to your G, and then E flat, your thumb. Pick up, play octave F, second on C, first on A flat, fourth on C, first on G, fourth on C, first on F, second on C, flipping my page, and then 1 and 5 on E flat, octaves, third finger on C, first on G, third on C, first on E flat. That's this section. So I'll play that without talking. Here we go. Octave C's coming up. Octave F coming up. Octave E flat. Right hand was on B flat. Now this section coming up is almost the same as section 1. So you're going to see a lot of familiar things here. It's just slightly different because here he develops the idea that he initially set forth. Okay, so you're on B flat, you're going to pick up, first finger on E flat, second on A flat, third on B flat. That's already the same as the very beginning, but if you're looking at the music, you'll see that these are 8th notes, and in the beginning we had 16th notes, so these are going to be longer notes, okay? So play that B flat again. This time you add an E flat underneath, then 5th finger on C like we did before, 4th finger on C again. This is going to be the same as section 1. You already know this. Okay, this is all review. Here it's different. So we did this. If you're looking at the music, this is the very last measure on the page. We did 1, 2, 5, A flat, E flat, G, which was the same as section 1. Then 4th finger on A flat. Now here it gets different. Okay, so you play that A flat again with the 5th finger, and underneath it add F and A flat. I'm using 3 and 1. After that, it's the same as section 1 with those triplets, okay? And then, whoops, is that the same or different? Okay, so this one coming up is different. You're gonna play a 4th finger on G, 1st on C, okay? And that. So you can see it's almost an exact repetition of section 1 with some added differences. All right, I'm gonna play that without talking. Here we go. Right hand plays as the left hand is moving down from where it was. So left hand was here, and then the right hand's gonna play as the left hand moves. Together. Now left. Pick up the right hand and play it, then together, then right. Together. Just the left. Right. And together. My page and then okay, so I'm going to play that without talking, and I'll just memorize it. That's at the flip. Okay, here we go. I forgot what was coming up. Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right. When you play as much music as I do, and you don't intentionally want to memorize something, it just goes real fast. Okay. So pedaling. You know what? Here, I'm going to do something different here. Okay. So we were holding the pedal from before, like in the section 2 we were doing. Here I'm going to change. No, I'm not going to change. You can change on that G if you want to or not. So this is still from section 2, the very last part of it. We did play and change. I'm going to go ahead and change on that G. So we have a nice clean slate to start with. Now, change here. change. Change. I'm going to change here on that G and on the F. Okay, so let me show you that again. So this measure was, I changed on beat 1, I change on the G, and change on the F. I could just change on the F, and this is what it would sound like. So remember, pedaling is an art. It's going to be different depending on what you want. Now I'm going to change on the F. So you'll have to experiment for yourself and see what you like and what your piano sounds like. And then next measure, change on beat 1. Okay? Left hand is on E flat. You're going to pick up and play another ninth. When I say ninth, I'm talking about the interval, the distance between the two notes. So D flat and E flat. And if you can't reach that, just play the bottom note, okay? Second finger on A flat. First on D flat. Back to your A flat. I'm doing it with the fourth finger. F, first finger. Back to your A flat. D flat, first finger. Now A flat, second finger. Pick up. Octave C's, second on A flat, E flat, first finger, fourth on A flat, first on middle C, back to your A flat, and then E flat. Pick up, 5 and 1, B flat, A flat, second on F, first on A flat, pick up, fifth finger on E flat, second on B flat, first on E flat, and then you can pick up or not, it's up to you. Fourth finger on A flat, and then first finger on E flat, and then you play those two notes together. Play that without talking. Here we go. Right hand was here, 1 and 4 on C and G, and then fifth finger on A flat, fourth on G, second on E flat. And then play that E flat again, put the thumb underneath it on G. If you hear a very loud motorcycle, it's my neighbor who likes to sit and idle underneath my window. Fifth finger on F, play that F again, add an A flat underneath it with your thumb. Pick up, fourth finger on E flat, step down, D flat. Play that D flat again, this time add a thumb underneath it on A flat, back to your E flat. It's the same as section 2. Okay, almost the same. Now, move down, third finger on A flat, step up, fourth finger on B flat. You know most of this already. Now, 1, 2, 5, D flat, F, C. Fourth finger on D flat, pick up, so it's different here. Second on F. 1 and 4, D flat, A flat. Third finger on G. Pick up, play D flat and A flat, this time with your 2 and 5. Hold that A flat on top if you can, while underneath it you do first finger on B flat, third on D flat, and then C, second finger. And I let go of the top note there, okay? Doing it without the talking. Here we go. Again, slow down the video if you need to. There's the gear icon on the video, click on it and click on speed, go to 0.75, that will help you a lot. So left hand is holding that E flat from before, but we're gonna let it go as the right hand plays in order to move. So the right hand goes first, now together. Right hand holds. Pick up the right hand, together, right as the left hand moves, together. Hold the right. Right hand by itself, together. Left, right. Together, left, together, together. Now right hand holds, left hand plays, right, and then together. One time without talking. Now pedal, let's see, you were holding from before. By the way, if you're liking this tutorial, take a second and click the thumbs up so that YouTube will like me. All right, so your pedal was holding and you're going to change here on beat 1. I'm holding the pedal. Change. And change here, the chord changes, and change here, and here, okay? So whenever the chord changes and you're not all the way up here and you're like in a normal part of the piano, in general, you want to change the pedal so that the harmony will be easily heard, okay? All right, here we go. So left hand was on A flat, E flat. You're gonna move down to D flat with your pinky, or 5th finger as we call it in piano. 3rd finger on A flat. 1st finger on E flat, back to your A flat. 1st finger on D flat, back to A flat. 1st finger on E flat. Now I'm gonna put 2nd finger on A flat because I'm moving downward. 5th finger on C, back to your A flat. 2nd finger. Middle C, 1st finger, A flat, back to your C, A flat, C, and then low C, 5th finger. Pick up, B flat, A flat, 5 and 1. 2nd on F, play that same A flat you did, and then back to the B flat that you just played at the beginning of this measure. Pick up, 5th finger on E flat, 2nd on B flat, 1st on E flat, pick up, and A flat, B flat. Again, if you can't reach it, just play the bottom note. 2nd finger on E flat, 1st on B flat, back to your E flat, and A flat. We're going to pause it here for this section. All right, I'll play that without talking. Here we go. right hand second finger was on C, and you were either holding that A flat or not, doesn't really matter. Pick up, first finger on A flat, second on C, fourth on E flat. Pick up, fifth finger on F, second finger on A flat. You might say, why not just 1 and 5? Because I'm about to go here, right? So again, use whatever fingering you like, okay? So fifth finger on F, second on A flat. Reason I keep saying that is because I get too many messages asking me what's the right fingering. And so there isn't one, okay? First finger on F, then second finger on back to your A flat. I like to pick up here as a stylistic thing. First finger on G, second on A flat, up to your F. Pick up, put your fifth finger on E flat, third finger on B flat, first on E flat. I'm holding that E flat because it says to in the music, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Second finger on A flat, first on G. I'm going to let go of that E flat now, and then play that A flat G again. A flat, B flat. E flat. Okay? Now, play that E flat again, this time add an F underneath it. D flat, fourth finger. Play that again. Now, C, third finger. Pick up, you play that same C with your fourth finger and add an A flat underneath it with second. Third finger, B flat. Play it again. Second finger on A flat. Pick up, 1 and 4, E flat, B flat. Fifth finger on C. Play it again. Hold it while you add a middle C underneath. Okay? Here it is without talking. A flat. You can see there are a lot of repeated notes here, so you don't want to do this. You see I'm pressing the keys? I hate it when I hear a piano teacher say the word press. Press the key. No, we're not making juice here, okay? We're not pressing anything. We're playing, we're falling using gravity. It's really important when your repeated notes are happening that you are using your wrist and the weight of your arm and gravity. Please do not press. And if you're a piano teacher, take that word out of your vocabulary when you're at the piano, please. All right. So right hand's playing, and now here, hands together. Pick up, together. Pick up. This is all together. Right hand plays, left hand moves down, together. Hold the right, add that C underneath. Okay, I'm not going to play it without talking because I barely said anything. Okay, so the pedal was being held from before, and you're going to change on beat 1. I'm not changing here because I don't mind that blurriness. Change. If you don't like the blurriness, you can change. Change. And here I'm definitely going to change. Change. And change. Fifth finger was on A flat, moves down to D, then up an octave, same note. Second finger goes over A flat, first finger on C. Pick up, G and F, 5 and 1. D, second finger. B, first finger. Play that D again. This time, fourth finger. Fifth finger on C, second on G, first on E flat, pick up. F, fifth finger, second finger on C, first on F. Pick up, B flat, A flat, 5 and 1. Second on F, first on B flat, back to your F, first on D flat, back to your F, first on A flat. Now, B flat, third finger, so that we're set up to go down. E flat, fifth finger, back to your B flat. Pick up, you're going to play 3 notes. E flat, A flat, D flat, 4, 2, 1. Okay? Fifth finger on B flat, and then first on G. Play that without talking. Right hand was holding that C octave, pick it up. First finger on A flat. This is the same as what we did in the beginning of section 5. Second on C, fourth on E flat. Now, you play F, fifth finger, C, second finger, A flat, first finger. Pick up, middle C, first finger, second finger on F, fourth on A flat. Pick up, move that fourth finger down to G, add a B underneath it with your thumb. Now pick up from your wrist, fifth finger on G. Play that G again, add a B underneath it with your thumb, fourth finger on F. Pick up, move that fourth finger to E flat, add a G underneath with your thumb. Pick up, C, third finger, fourth finger D flat. Now, fifth finger on E flat, and underneath it, you play a B flat with second finger. While holding the E flat, the top note, move down. You let go of the B flat as you play A with your thumb. Okay? Now hold that thumb while the top note goes fourth finger on C, fourth finger on D flat, then third finger on C. So let me do that again. So it goes 2 and 5, B flat, E flat. E flat holds, B flat lets go as soon as A comes in. Now A holds and then holds. I said holds. A holds. Fourth finger on D flat. Third on C. Okay? You're going to pick up F and D flat. 1 and 4. Fifth finger on E flat. Pick up. Second on F. You're going to step up to G and then A flat. Pick up, D flat, F, C, 1, 2, 5. Pick up, B flat, F, B flat, 1, 3, 5. Or whatever finger you want. All right? So here's how that goes without talking. All right, hands are going to play together. This will take some practice. Now the right hand holds, left hand plays. Right hand, together. Pick up left and move it as the right hand plays. Together, left. Together, left. Now it's together, left, right, left. So together, left, right, left. And together. And now left. Together. Here it is without talking. You might have noticed that I let go of that A that I said you should hold. It happens. It's not a big deal. All right, so pedal was being held from before. Let's see, at the beginning of that measure, this is the end of section 5. We pedaled, and then we changed here, right? Now I'm gonna hold it. This is section 6 now. Change. 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 First finger is on G. Now you're going to play A flat and B flat, octave. Second on E flat. First on C, fourth on E flat. First on B flat, back to your E flat. First on A flat, then second finger on E flat. Octave Cs, pick up, fourth finger on G. First on E flat, back to your G. First on C, back to G. First on E flat, back to G. F octave, second on C. First finger on A flat, back to your C with fourth finger. F, first finger back to C, A flat, and then second finger on C, and then octave E flat, fourth finger on C, fifth finger on C, sorry, fourth finger on E flat, first on C, and then high G with your thumb. All right, so here it is without talking. So you can see that it's moving around quite a bit. That's what gives this part of the piece its forward momentum, is all the moving around with the left hand. That's what makes it dramatic and exciting. Right hand was holding B flat, F, B flat, pick up. This is familiar by now. E flat, A flat, B flat. And then whatever fingering you're using here, 1 and 3, E flat, B flat, fifth finger on C, 1 and 4, E flat and C. And then second finger on A flat, step it up. This is familiar by now. 1 and 3, E flat, B flat. Fifth finger on E flat. Then play the octave. Pick up. 1 and 3, G and C. Pick up and move high to E flat, third finger. Step it up. Now G, E flat, G, 1, 3, 5. And then A flat octave. Play that octave again. Now these are all going to be octaves. B flat, C, step it down. B flat, A flat. Now G, C, G, 1, 2, 5. If you can hold the top G, great. If not, let it go. But you're going to let go of the fingers 1 and 2 and then play just the C by itself and then just the G by itself. Okay, here it is without talking. Left hand is holding. It's going to pick up as the right hand plays and move to position. So together here. Left, together here. Together, now left. Now it's going to be left, right, together, right. Pick up and together. Left hand plays, right hand moves, together. Left hand plays, right hand moves up, right, together, right. Left hand moves, together. Right hand holds. Now together. Now you've got triplets in the right hand and straight eighth notes in the left hand. So it's, again, I want you to watch the video on triplets. I'm not going to explain it here, okay? Because I have a whole video about this. Then together. Okay? Here it is with pedal. So we had changed the pedal on the last note of the last section. So we're going to hold it here, and you change here. Change. Change here. First finger was on G. Now, fourth finger on C. First on E flat. You're going to play the E flat an octave lower with your second finger, and then D flat octave. Second finger on A flat. Go all the way up, first finger on E flat, and then fourth finger on A flat. First on D flat, back to your A flat. First on E flat, back to your A flat. Pick up. First finger on C, first finger on C and fifth finger on C, octave. Second finger on A flat, first on middle C, fourth finger on A flat, first on E flat, back to your A flat, first on C, and then A flat second finger. B flat, A flat, 1 and 5. Second on F, first on A flat, fourth finger on F, if you want. You can just, whatever works for you. First finger on D flat, back to your F. First finger on A flat, second on B flat, and then fifth finger E flat, third on B flat, first on D flat, and second on A flat, pinky on E flat. Here it is without talking. octave Gs. You're going to play all of these octaves: A flat, G, E flat. Repeat that. Now F. Repeat that. Now it's going to be just single notes. Fifth finger on E flat. Step it down to D flat. Play that D flat again with your pinky and add an octave underneath it. Now octave E flat. Play it again. Third finger on A flat. Step it up. Now 1, 2, 5, D flat, F, C. Take that fifth finger, move it up to D flat. Play that D flat again, and this time add that F and D flat from before. Like that. Now octaves, E flat, D flat. You're going to play C octave, but in the middle of it, you're going to add an F with your second finger, or whatever finger you like. And then octave B flats with an F in the middle, third finger. Okay, without talking, here it is. All right, hands are going to play all of these together. Now, the right hand holds, left hand continues. Pick up the right. Now together. Right hand plays, left hand picks up and moves. Together. Now right hand holds, left hand plays. Pick up the right hand. Together. Right plays, left moves. Now together. Right hand holds. Pick up, right hand. Now together. Right hand holds. Pick up the right hand, prepare, and together. Or this finger, whatever works, okay? So the pedaling, let's see, this is the very end of the last section, which was 7. So I'm going to hold the pedal and I'll change right here. Change. 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 And change. Okay, so section 9 starts differently than section 3, but after that it's going to be the same. So I'll just show you the different thing that happens in the left hand, and then from there you'll know. I'll talk you through it. So we were on 5th finger, so we're going to do 3rd finger on B flat, 1st on G, and then 2nd on E flat. Then you go back and do what you did in section 3. Okay? I'm not going to do it again. Now, then you repeat section 4, section 5, section 6, section 7, section 8, section, let's see. Yeah, section 8, and then it's going to be different at the end of section 8. So I will show you section 8 and the different part that's going to happen, which is really section 14. I hope that makes sense. I'll put it on the screen as like a graphic to help you make sense of it. Basically what he's doing is he's repeating from after the intro, he's repeating from there with like a second ending, first ending type of thing. If you know what that means, great. If not, don't worry about it right now. So here is section 14. It starts the same as section 8. I'll show you where it's different. This is still the same as section 8, but it's really section 14. Now, here's where it changes. So you go 5th finger B flat, 2nd on F, 1st on A flat, back to your B flat. And then octave E flat, 2nd on B flat, 1st on G, 3rd on B flat. Now we have a key change. 5th finger goes to E natural, up an octave, and then 2nd finger A, pick up, move that 2nd finger to E, and then G sharp on top. Okay, so that is section 14. If this is confusing for you, go and watch the performance and either follow along on your music, which I really hope that you have. It's really cheap. I don't make any money off of it. I'm just telling you, it's really important to have something to follow. Or you can, if you want to take the time, make some kind of map for yourself. You can do that too. All right, I'm not going to play it because this is already a very long tutorial. All right, same thing happens in the right hand. So the right hand is going to play, let's see. Okay, so the right hand, section 9, starts exactly the same as section 3, and then you just repeat section 4, section 5, section 6, section 7, section 8, and then section 8 is where the change happens at the very end, so which is really section 14. Okay, so we're going to do section 14, which starts like 8 and ends differently. So here we go. Section 8/14 was this. You already know this. Here's where it changes. 1, 2, 5, D flat, F, C. 5th finger on D flat. Now pick up, 3rd finger on F. Play A flat, D flat, A flat, 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 5, whatever you want to do. And then G, D flat, G, 1, 2, 5. And here's that key change. 1, 2, 3, 5, A, D, F sharp, A. Pick up D and F, 1 and 2, 4th finger on A, and then 1 and 3, E and G sharp. All right, so this is hands together, which is the beginning of section 9, but really going back to repeat section 3. So I'll play a little bit of it for you, and then you'll know that you're just going to be repeating what you already know, okay? So it goes together, and now we're at the part that we know in section 3. Okay, so again, you're going to repeat section 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is the one that it changes. So here's section 8, which is really section 14, because we're going to change it at the end. All right, so together, you already know this. Now, this is the new part. So hands together, just the left while the right hand lifts, then together, together, left while the right hand lifts, together, left, and then both hands move to new positions. Okay, so I'll just play that last part, the new part without talking so you can see it. pedaling wise, let's see. You're going to change on beat 1. Change here. Change. 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 Okay? And again, if this is confusing, go watch the performance, slow it down, make sense of it for yourself, and if you have the music, it'll help you a lot. All right, we're almost at the end. Congratulations for sticking with me this long. All right, you're doing a great job. So if you haven't commented yet, go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Thank the person who sponsored this video, okay? So here we go. You were here, 1 and 2, E and G sharp. Pick up and move to the A that is directly below middle C, 5th finger. 3rd on E, 1st on B, back to your E, 1st on A, back to E, 1st finger on C sharp. Remember to lean over to get closer to those notes. 3rd finger on C sharp, 5th finger on C sharp, 3rd on G sharp, 1st on E, back to your G sharp. 1st on C sharp, back to G sharp, back to E, pick up. Here's another one of those ninths. If you can't reach it, just play the bottom note, okay? So I'm playing F sharp and G sharp, 3rd on C sharp, 1st on A, back to your C sharp, G sharp, 1st finger, back to C sharp, F sharp, pick up, 5th finger on E, 2nd on C sharp, 1st on E, back to your C sharp, back to E. Okay, here it is without talking. E and G sharp, you were holding that. Now you're going to pick up. 1st finger on E, 2nd on A, 3rd on B, play that B again. 4th on C sharp, play that C sharp. You can either do 1 and 4 or 1 and 5. I'm doing 1 and 5 right now. Another time I might do 1 and 4. It's no big deal. Pick up. 2nd on A, you're going to step up. A, B, C sharp. Now play that B again and add an E underneath it with your thumb. Then go up to E, 5th finger, play that E again, add a B underneath. I'm using my 2nd finger. Pick up, play that same E with your 2nd finger, and step up. E, F sharp, G sharp, play the G sharp again, add a B underneath it. Then 5th finger on A, play the A again, add a C sharp underneath. This is very familiar because we've done it in a different key earlier in the piece. Pick up, 4th finger on B. You're going to play that B again as a grace note and go up, C sharp, 5th finger. Step it down, B, A, G sharp, pick up, play the G sharp an octave lower, and then 4th finger on C sharp. Okay? You can see he's really using the keyboard, all right? And this is why if you have a smaller keyboard, you're going to have to figure something out. All right. So I'm going to do that without talking. Okay, so this is the last thing you did in section 14, and you're going to pick up right hand and left hand, move them both in place, now together. Right, while the left hand picks up and moves. pick up the right, together. Oops, sorry about that. I'm not talking much because these movements should start to feel pretty familiar. We're just using new notes, but the coordination is hopefully happening for you. So I'll do that without talking at all, and you can get it. All right, so at the beginning of this measure, we had changed the pedal, and then we had changed it here. Now, we're going to section 15 now. Hold the pedal, and change here. Change here. Change. Change. Thumb was on E. You're going to play C sharp, back to your E, and then E an octave lower. Jump on down to D octave, second on A. Now, come up all the way in front of you, above middle C. First finger on E, fourth on A. First on D, fourth on A, back to your E. Now D, fifth finger. Pick up, C sharp octaves, second on A. Come back to that high E, fourth finger on A, first on C sharp, second on A, back to your C sharp. Okay, pick up, B and A, 1 and 5, second on F sharp, first on A, pick up, move, fifth on E, second on B, first on E, pick up, fifth on A, second on E, first on B, second on D, A and C sharp, 5 and 3. Now let's do it without talking. Fourth finger was on C sharp. You're going to pick up and move down to A, fourth finger, fifth finger, fourth finger on G sharp, second on E. Play that E again with your fourth finger and add a G sharp underneath it with your thumb. Then fifth finger on F sharp. Play that F sharp, this time with an A underneath. If you can hold the F sharp, fine. If not, let it go. You're going to play an F sharp down an octave, and then back to your A. Now, E, D. Play that D again, fourth finger, and then underneath it add a B and an E, second and first. Oops, there we go. Fifth finger on E. Play that E again with a B underneath, second finger. Hold the E if you can, and then play A underneath like that. Pick up. E, first finger, A, third finger, fourth finger B, pick up, D, F sharp, C sharp, 1, 2, 5, then fifth finger to D, pick up, second finger on F sharp, play that F sharp again, underneath it you play a D, and above it you play an A, 1, 2, 4. Now you play that D again, this time you do it with a G sharp on top, 1 and 3, and then fourth finger on A. Here it is without talking. Here we go, together. There's only one more section after this, and it's really short, so you have come a long way if you've come this far. Here we go. Together. Together. I didn't talk you through that because it's pretty self-explanatory, and if you slow it down, you'll really see what I'm doing. So pedal, you were holding from before. I'm going to play the very end of section 5. So you had changed on beat 1. Oops, I was up here. I'm still holding it. Now I'm on section 16. Change. Change here. Change. 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 And change. By the way, if you are looking for a keyboard or any equipment, I have links in the description box. You click on the link, anything that you buy at Sweetwater, after clicking on that link, I will get some money in my account, and that will help pay for the expenses of running this channel. Just make sure that you don't then click on an ad afterwards, then I will not get any credit, okay? So if you're looking for a keyboard or a stand or a pedal or anything like that, click on the link below. I'll make it very obvious, and that will help me out, and you'll still get the same great price from Sweetwater. All right, this is it. We're at the end. You were holding A and C sharp. Now you're going to pick up B and A, 5 and 1. Second on F sharp. Play that A by itself. Pick up 4 and 1, E and B. This is the last measure. Get excited. Fifth finger on low A, second on E, first on B, second finger over to E, and then go down octave A's. Again, you can see he uses almost the entire keyboard. So if you are looking for a keyboard, mine is a Yamaha P125, and I love it. Love, love, love. It's one of the best keyboards I've ever had. All right, let's do that without talking. Fourth finger was on A, on A. Pick up, move to high B, third finger, step up C sharp, play that C sharp, underneath it add an F sharp and a D, 1, 2, 4. And then fifth finger on D, play the F sharp by itself, second finger. Does this look familiar? It's because we just did it in the previous section, but we were down an octave. So you're going to play that F sharp again, put a D and an A around it, and then just G sharp by itself, third finger. Pick up. Here you can use 1 and 4, 1 and 5, whatever you want. B and A. Pick up. And again, whatever fingers you want, C sharp and A, it's the end. go wild, go crazy, use whatever fingers you like. Okay, I'm gonna play that without talking. This is it. Woohoo! Let's celebrate. All right, so right hand starts. Together. Left, right. Together. Now, as the right hand's playing, the left hand has to pick up and move so that it can be ready. Here, right hand picks up, moves down as the left hand is playing, and then together. So I'll do that without talking. And the pedal, you're going to hold it from before. Change here. Here, change. Change. Now here you can either change or not. Here's what it sounds like without changing. So I'll do that two ways. The first one, I won't change. The second one, I will change on the last chord. So here's the first one with no change. Sounds good. I don't mind it. Here's the one with the change. Okay, they're both good. I don't know what I did on the performance, but my point is that you should experiment, or pick one you like and stick with it. Whatever you want. There's no right or wrong pedaling. Well, if you've reached the end of this tutorial, that means you've gotten through the whole thing. Congratulations, that was a long one. All right, find me on Facebook, The Piano Keys. My website has a million ways to help you get better. thepianokeys.com. I'm on Instagram, The Piano Keys TPK. My Facebook group is called Piano Practice Tips with The Piano Keys. You do have to answer all the questions and agree to the group rules, or I will not let you in. All right, keep practicing, have fun, and I will see you soon. Bye. What's the name of my Facebook group? I don't know.